Hey y'all, Coach in the Fight here. I didn't mean to show you my old bucket again, but frankly it's the only thing around here that I can show you without getting in trouble for it. You know what I mean? Probably get in trouble because I ain't got my rake in there. But my wife thought it was a block of keys. But we're listening to chapter 31. We're about at 10 minutes, and it's a very important message right there in the Third Testament of the Bible, chapter 31. At about 10 minutes. I started I might start it back there at 8 minutes just to make sure I give you about 3 minutes, two and a half minutes before you actually start to hear what he's talking about there. That's the end of my message. You can click off now if you want to. But let me see if I can remember what he was saying. Exactly. I try to remember word for word. I don't want to just start making stuff up. But let's see. He's talking about when we die. What happens to us when we die. And I'm going to have to move away from my bucket because the squirrels are up there dropping pecans on my head. I believe they was trying to hit me. I think he was throwing them at me for real. But I moved, so he left me alone. We're good. But he's talking about what happens after we die. So, and he's talking about our spirit. So now from what I understand, so if I were to die right now, like, rock fall out of the sky, the tree come down, one of them pecans actually hit me, and make me fall off this, bent tree, and, anyway, what he's saying could happen is that I would, once my material being is gone, meaning my body is dead, I am now separated from that body. It's no longer any good to me. My spirit then, kind of jumps out of it. Just like in the movies kind of thing is what I'm thinking. Just like in the movies where the spirit jumps out of the body and, goes. But then he says, this being, your spirit, my spirit, then goes on to try to, ascend into the higher heights where I expect to, reach the Father, heaven, I'm expecting heaven. But he's saying that in many cases, and it could be in mine, that I realize, not that I realize, no, I'm skipping a part. That once I am unable to ascend to the higher heights, the place where I'm at, I then create an environment for myself. I create an environment for myself. Listen to it. I mean, it's like chapter 31, about 10 minutes or so. I stopped it at 10 minutes and 30 seconds before I jumped over here. I think this thing actually played. I'm going to have to try that one day. But, and this is getting a little long. But he's saying that I would create that place there, for myself. It's not heaven. It's not where I think I should be. But I create it for myself. And he doesn't indicate an amount of time, but to me it seems like a little period of time passes before you finally say, hey, is this heaven? Is this what it's supposed to look like? And then he's saying that's when other beings, all of a sudden in this story, there's other people there in this place that you have created. I guess you created it with other people. I guess you would. And they say, no, can't be. This ain't what it's supposed to look like. And then he says that your spirit. No, he said, okay, it's kind of like a dream, but it's not a dream. It's text. You can go right there to 31 minutes and in 10 seconds. I was just listening to it, and I said I was going to go back and make a video on it, but I thought about the last time that happened, and I never got the video created. So I said, well, I'm going to try it this way, see what happens, and that's what we're doing. So. You're in this place that you have created. You're realizing that it ain't heaven. And so what it says then happens is you start to think. I start to think, well, what is this place? And now he says that I am enlightened by my conscience, means I'm kind of aware of good and the good deeds. And I start to evaluate my life. And I look back at all of the things that I did in my life. I don't know if y'all hear that thump, but it's a big old, I don't know how big the squirrel is, but I know that nut he dropping is huge. I wouldn't worry about it except they almost hit me. I guess I'll move on a little more. Anyway, so where were we? You start to contemplate your life and evaluate it based on your deeds, your actions, and what you've now, you now, the information that you've now been enlightened with through the conscious. And so you realize that no, you ain't really supposed to go to heaven. And you start to be he says humbled. He said you start to be humbled. And it is at that point that I believe he says you go and you ask that you can, be recycled, that you can do it all over again, that you can, go try this whole thing again. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to stop there because I'm gonna go right back and listen to it again. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Father.